Hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? It's Maria here. So I finished my round 9 of the 4x4x48 challenge. And I gotta tell you, this is becoming very physically demanding and very challenging. So my previous, so this goes every 4 hours, right? So I did my 3 o'clock, posted results in the page, as you've probably been seeing or following. And then the next would have been at 7 p.m., but I had a commitment from 5:30 to, I didn't get home until about 9 o'clock. 9:15 or something. But anyway, moving forward, I end up having to do, I got some steps in, about 3/4 of a mile during that commitment. So I counted that because I was walking. And then I got home. I had to do the 3 miles and a quarter to wrap it up. And that was, I didn't finish that until practically 11 p.m. And I'm sorry, at 10 p.m. And 41 minutes and 25 seconds. And technically, if I were to start on time, the 11 p.m., which would be 7:11, I would have very little sleep since yesterday I've had sleep, 5 hours of sleep, right, during these short little breaks. And so I kind of stayed in bed a little more because once I finished that 3 1/4, my whole body, I felt like it was inflamed. I felt my legs hot, felt kind of inflamed, hips, and I did it kind of slow too. But anyway, so I decided to move, to get a little bit more, I guess, rest, an hour or so. So I didn't start this until almost midnight, which is an hour later. But I will start back up on 3 a.m. And then 7 a.m. and 11 I will be done with this thing. But there is John Maxwell. I love John Maxwell, and maybe if you know him, he's got laws. He's got a law of pain. I remember that he combines a lesson into a law of pain and law of reflection. It made me think about it while I was going through this because it's been painful these last 2 runs. My body is really feeling because of lack of sleep, and exhaustion. I've never done anything what I'm doing like it now. But the whole thing that I see that this relates quite well. Hi, Marcus, how are you? Is this law of pain and reflection. They go really well what's going on with me here. This challenge is physically and mentally challenged. Right now, the physical portion is bigger because I feel the unrest. I feel the kind of, boy, how can I go faster here? I don't think I can go much faster, right? So I'm having to kind of reflect on what's going on in my body. And if I take this into the circumstances that are going on today with the world, this pandemic and isolation and challenges and all that, and in the day-to-day too, is how do we gain out of pain? And let's associate this with my pain, and then we go to other pains, right? So if we don't take the time to reflect on the pain that we're experiencing, we're actually doing a disfavor, because then pain becomes a pity party, right? When we take the time to reflect and see what can we have done better, what could have gone differently, should I have prepared myself differently, what is the good out of this? Because I totally believe that there is always something good out of pain. If or when we take the time to reflect, because there is always a learning experience. And I know plenty of people, and I've met plenty of people in my life who go from pain to pain and don't learn. And I bet, And some of these people I have conversations, or I had conversations, others I don't. When you meet people like that, ask them key questions to see. Have you thought about this? What is your takeaway from their experience? And some people, they're gonna look like, what are you talking about? Other people are gonna say, no, but I should have. Well, I thought about this. Yeah, maybe I could have done that. And I said, folks, every painful experience, there is goodies. There is so much good in it. And we are missing out if we don't do a thing. And today, with my situation here, I chose this pain, right? I didn't know how kind of pain was going to be, but look, when was the last time, that I run 48 miles in 48 hours, and with poor sleep? Never, right? So I knew this was going to be challenging, but I didn't know how badly. So here I am on that treadmill and reflecting, what's going on? Why is this? Why is that? Am I doing everything that is possible? What have I, if I decide to do this next year, this challenge again, what am I going to do about it? To do better? Do I have to keep it up running and all that? Because I run in my workouts, not every day, and my runs are short. 200 meters, 400 meters, once in a while 800 meters, once in a while a mile, and also that. Yeah, on Thursday I run 2 miles and a bunch of squats, push-ups, pull-ups, and all that kind of stuff. But now, and there is more reflection, but I want to turn to the situation of this pandemic. A lot of people are going through painful situations, or, from the finances, from the relationships, and it says, what is good out of this? And sometimes it's challenging to see what is the goodie, right? But let's say that the finances are a concern, right? And it's painful, maybe to emotionally painful, to maybe say, shoot, I don't have enough over here to eat, or I'm because I don't have a job. So what are we going to do about it, right? So what puts us into this situation that, this is my only basket that I had, and I didn't have any savings and all that kind of stuff. So when we reflect about it, it says, how do I prevent this from happening in the future? But what can I do now? How resourceful are we to actually say, okay, who do I know who I can assist me? Do I, so is there a job? Is there something that I can, do right now that is going to bring some money to the table? Is there something that I can start learning now that I can, turn into maybe potential income, even if it is not right now, but in the future? Then you can prevent this, and now you can go back to a job that you had before, and then you have option B. And then, or is there any dreams, any goals, any things that I haven't achieved, or even put time into it that I can do it now, right? During this pain. How the hell did I get here, right? How did I get here? And by taking the time and the pause to reflect, and having some serious conversations with ourselves, we're not going to grow out of it. We're not going to grow. And then shit happens again. And what happened? You fall into the same situation, right? So let's say I'm 45 years old doing this challenge over here. So next year I decided to do it again. I'll be 46. So my body's getting older, right? So if I want to do this challenge and I don't want to maybe go through this again, this pain, how can I prevent it? Okay, I have to do some other things. Right? I have to keep up with the running, and I have to push my body more on that. Is that something that I want to do? For me, this is an experiment, to learn about my body. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning, my brain as well, my mental capacity, which I feel like it's pretty decent when I'm on this treadmill over here or running outside. I noticed that outside, I keep going. So that brings some different reality. So all I'm saying is that, in every pain, when we give when we give an opportunity to pause and reflect, we turn that into good. And that is a fact, Jack. So if whatever, think about, if you're going through painful moments right now, if you're somebody who is in your family that is going through, or a friend or whatever, maybe you can extend that thought. Maybe you can extend that hand and help guide. As a coach, I do that quite a lot, because people come with all kinds of, things going on in their lives, and there is sometimes the mechanism of, this happened to me. I don't believe that things are happening to me. I believe there are happenings for me. And I believe that everybody who I work with, or friends, whatever, colleagues, family, is happening for them, because there is an opportunity for growth on that. So there is no question, is how we react to these painful situations that's going to allow us to get out better. So I invite you to do that at any point. Sometimes we have to pause and say, what, this is not the right time. I have to deal with this emotion. I have to get control of the situation over here. And that's where then exercise is a good thing to get you back in control, to keep moving, be around people who are going to boost you, that's going to lift you up. Not those people who are kind of, okay, whatever is going on, that are not celebrating successes, that are not there for you to kind of listen when things are not good. Sometimes we would just need somebody to listen. Sometimes we need somebody to, to give some suggestions, some opinion. Oh, this is good. We have to have different kinds of people in our lives. But I refuse to have people in my life now that are downers. I'm respectful, but if I cannot celebrate my successes, and I don't feel like there is a mean behind it, that there is a good intention, that I care about you and you care about me, I'm saying no to that. For the most part, I'm saying no, because I can put myself down anytime. So if I'm going through something great, I want somebody to celebrate with me. If I'm going something down, I want to be able to, come to that person and have the time. And if I say, hey, anything to say, right? And that person is going to say what they're feeling and thinking, and sharing their opinion, that is going to help me to kind of see different angles so I can grow. I don't want to have friends or be that person, or a coach to anybody who is like, oh yeah, no, I've been there, yes, oh, it's very tragic, yada, yada, yada. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help anybody. I don't need those people around me, honestly. I don't. There's conversations that we can get into it and get to know, and I'm like, okay, I see that's the way. It's not going to work. So I invite you to think about that too. Who is in your life, that is helping you to pause and reflect when they call you or come to you with the situations that are very painful. Pity parties are no good. There's a moment of consolation, compassion, yes, but it's also the right time to give it a little space, and it says, okay, let's see over here. Let's review this together. What can we do about it? Let's consider option 1, 2, 3, and so on. Right? So anyway, I wanted to share that because it's been painful this last few rounds on this machine, and I don't know what time it is now. It is past 1 a.m. and I have to be back on that machine at 3 a.m. so in less than 2 hours, and then at 7 a.m. and then 11. So I'm gonna shower now, and I'm gonna catch an hour of sleep or so. So I'm back on it, and continue this process, physically and mentally challenged, that I'm grateful that I'm doing it. It just takes it's a different perspective in this time that we're going through, and despite my calendar that is very full of stuff to do and overwhelmed, this is actually, I'm creating a space, right? Because during this challenge, there's very little that I can do, right? So I had a client here and there, you know, but other than that, I'm trying to focus on myself and how can I have the mental capacity to either run outside or on that treadmill to get the next 4 miles. So it becomes strategically, is mentally challenged on that. Okay, how do I restore my body? What kind of stretches I'm doing? Am I hydrated well? You know, what kind of foods are gonna actually give me some energy instead of, you know, like the other day I ate, you know, some couple pieces of chicken, whatever, and then I went to the, you know, 2 hours before, and then I went to the treadmill and I was burping that. So, you know, lessons like that, because the body is not, you know, needs time, right? So anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your night, or maybe you're listening to this maybe in the morning. So pause, you know, experience the emotions, pause, reflect, and grow. That's it. That's a process. You take care.